Hello and welcome to Keswick in the north of the Lake District for the very first adidas TERREX adventure race. This is a 4-day event that is non-stop. It requires incredible stamina and overall a mind-boggling ability to cope with sleep deprivation. It is the toughest event taking place in the UK this year. Surrounded by dramatic mountains and famous lakes, Keswick's fast becoming one of the adventure capitals of the UK. The finish to the race is in the town centre itself, but before the athletes can enjoy what the town has to offer, they've got to survive a 400-kilometre course, which is designed to take them up the steepest fells, across the deepest lakes, and a long, long way off the beaten track. Every team in the event must be mixed and have 4 members. The hot favourites includes 3 of the quartet that won the 2009 Adventure Racing World Championships in Portugal. That established trio of Nick Gracie, navigator Tom Gibbs and Army medic Nicola McLeod are joined by the experienced Steve Birkinshaw for this race.
Once you get going, you have some really great moments on these races, and I know the next 2.5 days are going to feel like about a week. You know, when I get back to work on Tuesday, it's going to feel like I've been away about a week and a half, not 4 or 5 days. And you pack a lot into that time. It's really good, really intense. As for the teams, I think one of probably our biggest competitions could well be Planet Fear. There's a couple of other teams, there's some good Irish teams. There's a couple of good sort of up-and-coming British teams that will also be pushing us. So I think it'll be quite a tight and intense race, really.
We like to think we've got a chance. I think everyone's got a good chance, but we're 3 very, very strong guys and a very, very strong lady who's just joined us. She's untested in a longer racing format, but we think she's going to do really, really well.
Sally Azan is joining a team that's competed internationally and which has plenty of success behind it. Old pro Anthony Emmett, former European champion Chris Neer and team captain Tim Higginbottom.
We're quietly confident that we may not be there at the very beginning, because we're going to sort of learn the ropes, but I think towards the end, if we're still in it and we're still going well, we could be there or thereabouts.
A race of this length is the equivalent of doing 6 or 7 Ironmans back to back.
I don't know if I can finish the race, no one does. And so to have that challenge put in front of you and then to successfully complete it feels fantastic. And the worse places you go and the lower you get, the better it becomes afterwards. We have great short-term memories. So it feels great afterwards.
That sense of satisfaction won't come until they've completed the 400 kilometres and returned to civilization in Keswick. At the moment, they're a long way south for the start of the race. This is the start of the main event, which for even the very quickest teams is going to take 72 hours to complete. Now, most of the course is laid out to the north in the hills, but to get there, they've got to cross the notoriously dangerous sinking sands of Morecambe Bay. Full of energy and overexcited, the teams are somewhat oblivious to the dangers and keen to get the 24-kilometre run underway. That's more than half a marathon on soft, wet sand. Throughout the race, the teams will use map and compass to navigate and will choose their own route between the checkpoints. For this first leg, they're warned time and again to stick to the marked route. A course laid out by someone who knows the sands and the dangers better than any man alive.
The title is quite a nice title, really. I'm the Queen's Guide to the Sands of Morecambe Bay, and it's quite a responsibility. I was born to the sands. My father was a fisherman, and my grandmother and grandfather were fishermen, and I think it's in my blood, and I just have a love of the sands. And there isn't much goes on out there but what I don't see. It is a dangerous area. It's a beautiful area, but people shouldn't attempt ever to go out without they go with a guide or someone who knows what they're doing. There are rivers out there and there are quicksands. And today where we crossed, that route has been marked out, but if they'd gone 100 yards above that or 100 yards below, it would have been soft, very soft quicksands above and very, very deep below.
These sands have caught many unawares, and Cedric's marked out a safe route with olive branches. It's no exaggeration to say that survival could depend on staying on track.
You cannot just go anywhere out in the bay. The tide comes in as fast as a horse can gallop. and you could never outrun it. I mean, some of them lads today, I saw them with those women, they were good runners, but they couldn't outrun the tide.
Oh, it's fantastic, yeah. It's some place I've always wanted to go, actually. Quite an epic start, really, everyone starting on the sand flats. Obviously, the lakes is a very hilly place, but it was quite bizarre to spend the first 3 hours running on completely flat ground. But very nice, it was good fun, and you could see all the other teams sort of racing together. And like all the adventure races, everyone goes hard at the start. We let a few teams go ahead who are, you know, a bit younger than us and a bit more spring chickens, if you like, and we just sort of sat back and let them run their own pace, and we went at our pace. We certainly followed where we were told to go. We didn't start wandering off in sort of random directions.
The first of those spring chickens to make it safely across the sands are Team Accelerate, an established team that's pushed the world champions in the past. These 4 have been selected from a squad of 15 and are captained by Kevin Honeysett, though it's Caroline or Kaz Bullard who can always be seen setting the pace and spurring on the men. They'll be well aware they've set a fast pace. Is it too fast?
Across Morecambe Bay, we were planning on just running our own race, just thinking where if we start, we'll see where we end up. We didn't really mean to be at the front quite so early on, but when you've got flat sand inviting as that, we just thought let's go for it and give adidas TERREX a run for their money, and just to make sure they know that Team Accelerate is here and we'll knock on their door quite happily.
Planet Fear, another top team, confidently opt for the other extreme.
The pace across the sands was phenomenal. I don't know how people thought they could keep that pace for 4 days. We started last. We sort of had a theory that we're used to quite competitive races, and we just thought, if we start at the front, we'll just race, and we just can't afford to race. Sally's not done a long distance race like this before, so we started last, and we set off, and we grouped up, and we just enjoyed a trot. We had pan au chocolat at halfway and just enjoyed it. It's 4 days long. It's a long time to be racing.
Transition 1 is on the far side of the sands at Holker Hall, and our racers are possibly the most unusual visitors that this stately home will welcome this year. Team Accelerate are the first to reach the electronic checkpoint there. They'll dib and prepare for stage 2. We're in transition 1, where they're changing from running to biking. Now, the physical and the mental side of a race like this is pretty obvious, but the organisational side is also vitally important. Every single bit of equipment that they need for the next 3 days has to be in one of these bags. If they've left it behind, that will mean massive penalties incurred and likely that they'll be out of the race. Even for Planet Fear, there's no time to stop for a tour of the gardens or a cream tea. The hard racing starts here with a gruelling mountain bike stage and an estimated 12 hours in the saddle. It's 110 kilometres along the rivers and becks and over the fells that will take in the estuary village of Ravenglass. Back into the fells again, up and over Warner Scar Road, down the chilling waters of Churchbeck, and eventually to transition 2 at Lake Coniston. Outdoor instructor Sally Azan is new to the concept of racing for 3 days and nights non-stop, but it'll take a lot of punishment to wipe the smile from the face of Planet Fear's new signing.
How are the sands?
Oh, awesome! This is much better on the bike. So good.
Time will tell whether she can maintain high spirits and competitive speeds. As Planet Fear move up the field, we catch up with Accelerate to find that they've been caught and overtaken by the race favourites Adidas.
Oh, yeah. Back into the lead. Yeah, we haven't seen anyone for ages, and then 2 teams come along at once. It's like the buses.
There are no drafting regulations in adventure racing. Physically, it makes no odds, but it can increase the pressure on the leading navigator. Accelerate are tracking Adidas closely as the route climbs higher and higher into the hills.
Over some long endurance races, if you start worrying mentally about how other people are doing, or just your race will break down, you'll start making mistakes and they'll put pressure on, and that's when mistakes are made. I think we're trying to do that to Adidas TERREX, just to make sure to keep pushing them and to try and get them to make a mistake.
World champions don't make many mistakes though. Can their rivals really give them cause for concern?
Oh yeah, I'm worried about them, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they're a strong team, they do well. But, I think as the race goes on, we'll probably get stronger, and it'll be interesting to see how they get on.
Planet Fear will also get stronger, and from last, they're now up to 3rd position on the 74-mile second stage of the race.
This was quite a tricky ride. Lots of bogs, just where your front wheel sinks, and it was quite energy sapping. But we just worked as a team, towing, pushing, just talking, and we thought we'd be moving a lot quicker. But there was a lot more pushing and hiking with the bikes than there was actually riding.
Again, Planet Fear continue at their own pace.
The other two teams are going quite quick, so we're just going to let them go and enjoy the rest of the bike.
Is that a long-term strategy?
Yeah, we'll be in it for the end. We'll see what happens at the finish.
The race favourites aren't finding the terrain any easier.
I think we estimated it would take us 12 hours. It might have ended up taking us 14. Great ride, really started off obviously from sea level, went up and did some lovely flowing single track riding, really, really scenic.
That was some of the best biking ever.
Enjoyed that?
It was mega, yeah. Really, really good. Like through the ferns, completely off-road, down the mountain, old school, yeah.
Even for the world champions, there's a psychological boost from being in front.
It's nice to have the lead for sure. Yeah, we lost that for a while, but it's all good now. Everyone will have different tactics, sleep tactics and boat tactics, and everyone will be choosing to either, you know, take it steady and fire up at the end, or beast it from the start. So I think we'll try and keep the lead, but we'll play our race. We really want to try and look after ourselves, because there's still quite a long way to go, and there's quite a lot of tricky navigation towards the end, so it's all about looking after your bodies and minds so you can stay alert and finish strongly. So that's our plan, we'll see if it works. That wood we've been following for about 200 metres. It's only just started.
Where are you going?
Don't know where we're going, I don't have a map, I'm a girl.
Do girls not have maps?
In my team. I'm not very good navigating. Tend to get lost.
Oh, she's braver than me.
Late in the day, Accelerate have the lead back, but only briefly.
The first bit of bad luck was when we had, I think adidas TERREX coming over the hill from behind us, and one chain went, so we had to fix the chain. They went past us, and then we caught them up again, and then another chain went. And I think in total we had about 3 chains go. So we got quite quick at changing the chain, but it always just sort of set you back about 5 minutes, which just added more and more time, which we lost to them.
How far Accelerate behind you? I don't know, someone said about half an hour, 25 minutes. Hard to tell. They certainly looked like they were slowing down, and we were sort of feeling quite strong.
Could Accelerate's initial dash over the sands have sapped too much energy? Adidas are undoubtedly moving faster as the day goes on.
No, they're going really well. They're going very, very well. So good luck to them.
Let's get your shoes on. Let's see you ride this one then, Anthony.
Accelerate were hammering it very early on. I think far too fast, and I think they're going to start paying for that now. Not that we're not paying for it, because it's a bloody brutal route. Are you okay there, Sal?
Yeah, it's splashing my head with the bike.
Where's your leg gone, Sally?
Look, we've had nice suntan.
What you need is to jump into cold water and wash that off, I reckon. Yeah.
The chance to clean up comes near the end of the bike stage.
This looks ominous.
This is the start of the canyoning section. The team's got to work their way down this gorge towards Coniston. Now, it's probably the slowest part of the whole course, but for those teams that haven't done their homework with the ropes and harnesses, this can be an absolute nightmare. And you can lose not minutes, you can lose half an hour, no problem at all. The Lake District Power Shower. It's cheap but chilly and will sap valuable energy.
I don't know, I feel quite alive.
Awesome. When you're at the top, you sort of think, oh, I don't want to do this, don't want to do this, and then you just go and it's fantastic. It's really good.
For safety reasons, teams must be kept close together rather than being scattered all over the 900 square miles of the Lake District. Teams who fall too far behind the leaders are forced onto a shorter course, and a few have already fallen foul of the time cut-offs. The teams still on the full course and going for the outright race win often arrive at checkpoints later, and that's the case here at the canyoning stage.
We were hoping to get here in daylight, but we obviously haven't.
In the semi-darkness, the leaders face a leap of faith into the abyss. And all the teams face the first of 3 nights, now cold, wet and tired. And they still have over 250 kilometres to go. Welcome back to the Adidas TERREX adventure race in the Lake District. Now it's the leaders' turn to say their prayers as they prepare to descend Church Beck. Team Adidas are leading with Accelerate and Planet Fear close behind. With teams racing day and night on the constantly changing terrain, total concentration is required on your footing and navigation. A tough ask when you're sleep deprived and already exhausted. All the teams are racing for position at the end of the stage. Some teams have other deadlines in mind. They see boosting morale as time well spent.
We were racing to get here for the last orders, and we thought we were going to miss it, but we just crept in and the landlady very kindly made us some hot chocolate, which has been well received.
Refreshed, they head back into the night. A little more up and down before they arrive at the lakeside for what they hope will be a flat, calm kayaking section on Coniston Water.
Okay, guys. Yeah, down here.
The potential for disaster in this kind of racing is limitless, and a simple gear failure can cost you the race. Even leaders Adidas are susceptible. On this occasion, it's human error, not mechanical failure for the local fell runner Steve Birkinshaw. A relief for him and the team.
15, 16 hours in, any sort of fatigue setting in?
We all feel not too bad, I think, and we're trying hard at the moment to sort of push quite hard, and it's easy to lose time at night and really sort of back off and feel tired, and so we're trying quite hard mentally to keep ourselves pretty focused on the task in hand, really.
And that task is the first of 4 paddling stages on the lake where powerboat legend Donald Campbell made many of his water speed record runs. He would have loved the conditions.
Yeah, it was just a mill pond. You know, stars out, the moon was out, it was gorgeous, absolutely lovely. Yeah, really enjoyed that paddle actually, it was really nice.
Is this normal behaviour?
Not at all. No, a lot of people dressed in rubber sat in plastic boats on the lake at midnight. No, it's not normal behaviour. I'm surprised the police haven't turned up yet.
Adidas, the first onto the water, are the first off.
We're in a good flow now, we've just got a nice bit of momentum going.
And the chasing teams are supplying plenty of motivation to keep it going, but Steve is the first to feel the cold and the effects of a sleepless night.
The others seem quite happy, but I'm a bit weary at the moment, but we'll see.
The right or wrong sleep tactics can make or break your race. Next up are 14 dark kilometres of very technical navigation in the fells. Nicola McLeod is still cheerful and keen to keep going.
Chasing them as usual.
What's your plan with sleep?
Sleep? Who needs sleep? I want to sleep tomorrow night, but then we don't always agree about that. So we might grab an hour tonight, we'll see. I think we'll see how everyone's feeling and if they can stay awake.
Planet Fear are not far behind, but the kayaking has brought on the first spell of drowsiness. Anthony is suffering.
You know what happens in these things, it creeps up on you. It's like when you're driving on the motorway, isn't it? And suddenly you're tired. So feel okay at the moment. I think the next kayak leg's going to be a toughie. It's a long one. So I don't think we'll sleep before. I think we'll just get on with it.
Sleep? Just back then, actually, it was the first time I felt a bit feeling good now. So just keep going.
Planet Fear and Accelerate have finished the kayak stage together.
How are you going to get on?
Good, I think. I don't know how far ahead of the Adidas team. Half an hour?
Yeah.
You right, Dave?
With another 30-kilometre kayak stage to come, Kaz is pushing her team to reach the start of it. Adidas are there, and the team have to decide whether to press on or to have their first sleep.
It's that time of day. Just as the sun comes out. So deciding now whether to carry on or not.
You don't want to sleep?
Daylight now, and there's no wind.
Yeah, it's a great, it is a good time to paddle.
If people, I've got caffeine. People want caffeine.
I've got some.
How you doing?
That trek is going to be shorter.
I'll tell you, you know the
That
score.
trek is going to be shorter, and if it's a nice day forecast.
Steve, I need that.
Conditions are perfect for kayaking, and there's a lead to defend.
You're the one who doesn't want anyone to sleep, aren't you?
No. Well, it's daylight now, so it's difficult to waste it while you've got a flat, calm lake and daylight.
Yeah, I think there's a team about an hour behind us and another team right behind them. So it's race on.
With mixed feelings, they set out to paddle the full length of England's biggest lake. Slow starters Planet Fear approached the transition with a real spring in their step and in surprisingly good position.
Well, Adidas left about 25 minutes ago.
Is that all? Tim? Adidas left 25 minutes ago. Oh, really? They're asleep. No.
Good news ahead, not such good news behind. Team Accelerate are also arriving to carry on the tactical battle between the two teams.
We've been playing a little game all day, which is where we stop and have a very long transition time, and then we go and catch up, accelerate. So that's our little game for the day now. So we've got 4 hours of fun ahead of us where we just sort of try and get them in our sights and catch them really. So should be good. Something to keep us entertained on the paddle anyway.
With only a slim lead and certainly no room for error, Adidas are glad of the fact that they have clean water and happy with the decision not to sleep.
It's always nice to be ahead. We got in the boats and got in the water about 6 in the morning, which again is a great time to start paddling. It was a mill pond again. Watch the sun come up was brilliant. And the weather started to turn on that stage actually. So the first hour was nice and then it started to stop raining pretty hard.
Next up, provided they don't miss the boat, is another bike stage, 18 kilometres towards Scafell Pike.
Hold on, we've got 10 minutes to get that ferry going. Yeah.
The ferry will take the teams across Lake Windermere to reach their bikes. Missing it would cost Adidas 20 minutes and the lead while they waited for the next. But having forgotten their compulsory GPS tracker, that's exactly what could happen. So they use their initiative and delay the ferry's departure, while Nick does the sprint back to the kit boxes. As a result, they're still one ferry ahead of the other teams. Accelerate a second and determined not to miss their crossing.
We were all very keen that transitions had to be quick. We knew every time we went up onto the hill we could catch them up, and in some of the transitions we felt we were better at the transitions than they were. We were out in the water quicker than in the kayak, and again hoping to really keep them on their toes. But yeah, the transitions I think can make a huge difference.
Still playing it cool are Planet Fear. Having finished their pain au chocolat supplies, they're more than happy to give up a few minutes in return for some fast food.
Which one? Brown or red? It just gives you that variety, because sometimes the food you've packed isn't exactly what you want. It's a long time to be out, so if you can get something hot, coffee, burger, something like that, something a bit more savoury, something not too sugary, then it just makes it a lot easier. It's a really good morale hit.
After crossing the lake, there's a short ride and then the toughest stage of the race, a 30-kilometre trek on England's highest mountain, Scafell Pike. With both darkness and stormy weather approaching, the near vertical ascents will be treacherous. A fast bike section is essential. Adidas are first to ride their bikes into the transition. It's time to prepare their battered feet for more punishment in the mountains.
I'm feeling a bit sleepy.
Did you get any sleep?
No. So, we'll see. I'm sure we'll all go through a sleepy stage at some point in the next few hours.
Fallen over my ankle about 50 times, that's all. Nothing new.
Normally the big trekking stages are the crux of adventure races. And this was the leg, as soon as we saw the course we knew this is the leg, but it was all basically around Scafell Pike. So the big sort of central peaks, big hilly, proper mountains, big ups, big downs, quite sort of hard terrain. And we had some pretty interesting weather, I'd say.
With Accelerate and Planet Fear still close behind, there's no comfort zone at all, and therefore no sleep for the leaders.
We were absolutely hampered down by fleeces, hats, all sorts of insulation layers and protection, because the weather was looking horrible. We'd arrived at that transition and we'd opened up our lovely dry kit bags and they were swimming in water.
You getting some shelter?
No. Trying to find some clothes.
We knew we were in for a tough time. That's when I think the race changed from being a race to being sort of a survival for many people.
Oh. Hi.
Oh no.
Nice day for it, huh?
Thanks guys.
It's lovely, isn't it?
This particular race, the weather played a serious part in the event, and how teams progressed through the courses, and also some of the terrain was pretty tough. So if you're not there mentally working together as a team, then you're going to really struggle.
We're quite a strong running team, and we thought if we nav this well and run hard, we can put a few hours into teams. And so we'd saved our energy levels on sort of average. And as soon as we got walking up that hill, we said, right guys, this is a time to make it. We're going to push a bit hard on this. So we pushed hard up the hill. I think we were out there for about 10, 11 hours maybe. We were pushing hard the whole time, running every down or every flat, really just pushing on. And in a way, the weather was so bad, it was good because we were cold, and we just wanted to get through it quickly. So it almost helped. If it had been a bit of a sunnier day, we might have taken our foot off the gas a bit.
As the world champions push on, the teams back in transition will take whatever shelter they can get.
We haven't slept now for, I think it's about 31 hours, something like that. We went through a bad spot on the kayak where we almost fell asleep in the kayaks, but quick splash of water and we're on our way again. So we're going to make the most of the daylight hours now and try and get some of the navigation done on the hill in the light. It wasn't really the original plan, but we don't want to be up there in this weather in the dark, so that's what we're going to do, or try to anyway.
Fatigue is slowing the progress of many, and Accelerate are the first of the top teams to opt for sleep.
We had a quick snooze in a really nice lady's garage. We just knocked on her door and she had a dog kennel in the garage, and we just said, can we have a snooze? And she said, yeah, that's fine. So we had 45 minutes downtime, which is lovely. But it's starting all off again now.
Nobody wants to spend the night on Scafell in this weather, so sleep has to wait. And it's onward and upward as they try to make it over the mountain stage in the remaining daylight. This is a grim experience for those falling asleep on their feet.
You okay? Yeah. Right, well held. Okay, now. Okay. Calm down.
It's been a fun 36 hours. Could do with some sleep, to be honest.
Accelerate and Planet Fear have more than each other to worry about. Finding checkpoints on this terrain is hard at the best of times. With sleep deprivation, foul weather and fading light, a single mistake can cost hours. Planet Fear are confident their skills are superior.
We were playing cat and mouse with Team Accelerate. They were definitely racing and taking different choices and different routes. We just let them go, and every 30 minutes they kept seeing us because we just walk into the checkpoint or take a different line, and they kept coming past us again and again.
As the race leaders are all too well aware, navigational features vanish in the darkness. They're now desperate, scurrying to be off the mountain in daylight.
We kept looking at our watch and thinking, the faster we go now, the more daylight we'll have for the rest of the stage. So you've always got that in your head. You've always got a motivation to keep you going hard in the daylight, because as soon as it gets dark, it becomes a whole different world. You probably go half the speed at night because it's very hard to read the terrain. You can't run really so easily because you can't see, all the rock, and especially when it's wet rock, it's harder to get your good footing on it. And hard to see contours, hard to see where the tarns are, the little lakes. It's very difficult, and it's very hard to judge distances at night as well. So something that may look a million miles away may only be 100 metres away.
It was pretty atrocious for a couple of hours, just like hailstones, really strong wind. We were all getting really cold, but luckily it got a bit better, or else we might have been in trouble.
The teams behind are about to discover just how difficult it can be. They have no way of escaping the mountaintops before dark.
I think that was one of our major fallbacks. I think we were up there for a good 8-9 hours when we should have only been up there for 6. Adidas TERREX had a very good run over the Langdales, and it was light for them to find all the checkpoints. With us, we were up on the hill. I think we were up on Scafell at about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and you couldn't see anything. You were taking a compass bearing from the top of Scafell and then going down the scree and hoping you'd find a tarn, when actually probably 20 yards away to your left the tarn was, and you were just looking in the wrong place and you couldn't see it. So we lost a lot of time just sort of not wandering around, but trying to find sort of different things. And you're looking for something about 3 inches by 2 inches just to put your little dibber in. So you can easily sort of run over it if you're just not quite aware and sharp enough. And that's definitely where Adidas took the time out of us, was up in the Langdales.
Conditions at the bottom of the mountain are bad enough. Even those who've retreated to the safety of the valley and opted to take the penalty for cutting the stage short are looking totally drained. The first team to complete the whole stage arrive at 3:30 a.m.
Well, I just feel sorry for anyone that's still out there, because we managed to get the final checkpoint just as dark was setting in, but they were difficult to find in daylight with 2 nerves. So yeah, I don't envy those guys.
At any stage you sort of thinking, why?
All the time. especially now.
They've worked hard for their advantage and gained significantly. Only now are they prepared to sleep, but never in transition. They'll find somewhere quiet, away from the other teams and the cameras. Teams trickle through the transition during the night, many having backed off the mountain early.
Extreme, I think, one word to sum it up.
We all got really, really cold, and then because we were slow, we just couldn't keep our eyes open, and we just all kept falling over, and I have no idea how we got down here.
Can't see out of one eye. I just think it's probably just sleep deprivation, but perhaps a little bit of sleep for an hour or two, and then see whether that cures it. It's pretty wild up there.
Is this the sort of thing you were expecting?
Yeah, probably not. No, it was probably a bit more wild than what we thought. I think up there, if it had been like last night, it would have been fantastic, you know. But different day today.
It's just too dangerous for us. For us personally, we just felt like it was too big a risk to take.
Planet Fear have completed the whole stage, but Sally's introduction to adventure racing is a cruel one.
It was hard. There was definitely no easy mile. I think every single footstep was a rock, some grassy slope. It was pretty brutal. So there'll be some very tired people out there.
We got to the point where I was just like, forget about controls, guys, let's be realistic. There's a serious risk to us here, so we need to get down off the mountain and get safe. It wasn't about points or controls or times. Let's find a way down and get some kip, and tomorrow's a new day.
Both Accelerate and Planet Fear still have a theoretical chance of winning, but they're hardly feeling any better than the rest.
We were just at a loss of what to do. We really were all just sat there thinking, what the hell do we do? How do we keep ourselves in this race? Because right now, it's just hell on earth.
After a brutal night on Scafell Pike, with survival conditions making the race a misery for all teams, the dawn brings stunning views, the sun's warmth, and some hope that they can survive another 24 hours. Astonishingly, the teams remain positive.
Just got to keep going. Oh, another, what are we? Just over 12 hours, 14 hours, maybe. Bike, canoe, orienteer. Should be fine. Or maybe some sleep in there somewhere.
The next stage is a 50-kilometre bike to High Street, a peak so named because of the Roman road that runs along its summit ridge. At 828 metres, it's certainly high, even if it doesn't really resemble a street. With 4 legs remaining after this ride, the finish may not be in their sights, but it's certainly on their minds. It's a gruelling 50 kilometres that's followed with another 13-kilometre paddle on the second biggest stretch of water in the area, Ullswater. This 9-mile glacial lake winds its way to the foot of England's third highest mountain, Helvellyn, whose grassy slopes provide the second and final big mountaineering stage of the race. After their phenomenal effort on Scafell, Adidas will start the stage first with a comfortable lead, leaving Ullswater and their rivals behind them. Refreshed after a couple of hours' sleep in the aisles of a church, they know that barring a major mistake, there's no way anyone's going to catch them.
Still feeling fresh there? No, not remotely. We just want to get this done as quickly as possible. Finish line beckons.
So you got the race sewn up?
No, not yet. I'd like to think we're in a very strong position though, and the other teams are hopefully giving up pretensions towards winning and concentrating on battling between themselves, and we can just get on with the job of disappearing and finishing.
And with better weather, there's a chance that the other teams might even enjoy the last evening of the race. Accelerator moving fast on Helvellyn, playing cat and mouse again with Planet Fear, who this time looked like they might struggle to respond. Sally has a knee injury that's a concern for her and the team. But after 60 hours of non-stop action, everyone is hurting. It's been a day to show off the beauty of the Lake District at its very best, but at the end of it, the teams are, if anything, feeling much worse than in last night's storms. As the third night descends upon them, many look as though they wouldn't survive a fourth. Fortunately, they don't have to.
Are we sleeping then?
I would like to have a little bit.
We lie down there.
It's going to be 2 hours minimum.
In the fight with Planet Fear for second place, Accelerator pulled ahead yet again by the end of the Helvellyn trek. But this time they should stay in second. Planet Fear are being hampered by injuries.
She's had a very sore knee most of the week actually, and obviously it's a big event and the biggest event she's done, so it's taken its toll a bit, I think. Yeah, she was struggling going down hills really.
Chris has problems of his own and has to seek the assistance of the overworked medics.
Tender.
Yeah.
Your ankle is swollen there. Do you normally get swollen ankles when you're in
That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all. That's really
so that's going to be a problem for you. So we want that sorted out.
Something's going to give, and we were doing really, really well. We all worked together. But the thing is that for us, the sort of racing style's over in terms of our heads. So we're just going to cruise and just try and enjoy it as much as we can.
That's the verdict. My body's breaking down. Somebody had to tell me eventually.
What is it? What's going on?
It's all it is obviously you've got some kind of infection, but it's kicked off pretty quickly, and literally within the space of the last trek I went from being absolutely fine and running to the start to struggling to walk, to be honest.
If he can make it to the final canoe stage, his foot and the team will make it to the finish. Fortunately, there's no more trekking to do, although another 55 kilometres on the mountain bikes to reach the canoes will be testing enough. For the leaders, the finish has just about arrived, with only a kilometre left to complete, from the shores of Derwentwater to the finish line in Keswick town centre.
You're relieved.
Relieved to get into the finish line. Yes, I think it's always a bit of relief. Tinged with sadness that such an epic journey comes to an end. And what a great way to finish. Derwentwater looks fantastic this morning. Just the last few yards to the Moot Hall.
With no mistakes, virtually no sleep, Adidas give the rest of the teams no chance. They win in 71 hours, 31 minutes, 29 minutes quicker than the estimated 3 days.
I think the team did really well. We had Steve step in at the last minute and he's performed fantastically. We've all pulled together, and yeah, I think generally we've had a good performance.
The Lakes is amazing. I mean, we had 2 beautiful days weather-wise and 1 horrendous day, which actually made it quite interesting because it meant we were up in the big mountains dealing with all sorts of hail and rain and wind crises.
Accelerate never lost their competitive spirit and are rewarded with 2nd place and the knowledge that without the bad luck, they can win.
The Lakes is just perfectly suited for a race like this. I mean, even chucking in like the sands on the first day, which is quite unexpected. You've got such a good variety of different types of mountain. Gives you a bit of everything, lots of adventure.
Planet Fear may have lost their battle with Accelerate, but to get 3rd with so many serious injuries and with a rookie as a last-minute replacement is something to be hugely proud of.
It's been fantastic. The guys have just worked tirelessly the whole time, so it's been great, you know. And Sally, I mean, what can you say? I don't think you would have got that from many people. From 3 days' notice to come and give that effort, that's impressive.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
It's the end of a race that was as tough as expected, but much closer and much more competitive than predicted. These are just the top 10 of 32 teams who finished the highly successful inaugural Adidas TERREX adventure race.
Cheers, Kim.
It was 3.5 days long. That's how long it was, with about 3.5 hours sleep. And there was mostly high bits in it, with a couple of bits.
Well done.
Tell me about it, everybody. How was it?
Awesome. There's many ways you can describe that with, really. I think it'll take a while to sort of figure out what happened and. Well done.
Full on. Oh. Full on.
I can't believe we made it to the end. I'm just so pleased. It was so good, but it takes a lot. You go through a lot out there, but it was great.
Oh, you forget the bad times. Definitely. I mean, you've forgotten the bad times as soon as you cross the finish line.
Would you come back?
Definitely.
Why?
Why not? You get to spend 4 days running around the Lake District, mountain biking, kayaking, climbing, doing all the things you love to do in one compact event. It's brilliant. It's the way to do it.